Welcome to the Seahawkers podcast. I'm Adam Emmert. I'm joined by my good buddy Clinton Bonner here. And Clinton, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk a little bit of news and notes leading into the Super Bowl here. And we've got some polls that you put out on YouTube that we're going to go over. And then we're going to get into our Blue Friday bets with our good buddy Wilson Kahn. And we're all going to make a bunch of money because we're all very confident about what's about to happen. And we're going to bet big money on it. Clinton, how you feeling today, man? With news and notes and injuries and all that, you still feeling confident, or you starting to waffle a little?
No, confidence is very high, man. And some people are getting nervous about the confidence level because I heard you talking on the flagship last night. Well, the Seattle teams we're not. That's not really our thing to be ultra confident. Very often it's the Patriots fans, the obnoxious Boston fans. Again, I live in the Northeast. I grew up in the Northeast, so I know it because I am it. And the more I look at this game, the more the paths for the Patriots grow narrow. That's what it feels like to me. And Seattle could win in a lot of different ways. And we know, hey, think ball bounce is funny. Refs get into nefarious, stupid things. A turnover or two, a drop pass, things change. It's a football game, and the Patriots are a legitimate football team. With all that being said, I think we're going to win, and we'll go into that. And like you said, we have Blue Friday bets as our props and predictions for the second half of the show. And there's some fun ones. So stick around for those because it is the Super Bowl. So you get some extra chances to play some or think about some bets that, aren't available in the regular season, which is a lot of fun, but we are 100% ready. And so beautiful graphic here. By the way, this is what happens when you allow a San Francisco designer to make the logo with all these colors, and then you throw it on a jersey, and on the jersey you decide to have a 250th USA anniversary in navy and red, and the Seahawks are green. It's just like, my God, every color under the sun. But the Prophet Goose, most importantly, I think, Adam, the Prophet Goose is there. He's there. He's outside the stadium. Look at him. Is he gorgeous or what?
He's beautiful. You could put a Prophet Goose in anything and he would rock it. But with that said, the color explosion, vomit, whatever that is, it ended up all over there. Like, just, I don't.
Too ready.
Okay. Sure. If that's what we're doing, I guess. I mean, it looks like a win to me. Even in those colors.
It does look like a dub. Another dub is, hey, we love calling folks out, the new members that are out on YouTube, anybody out in gettingtheflock.com. You guys do a great job of that, calling them out on the flagship show, and new subscribers. So we always want to say thank you, because we've crossed yet another milestone. So if you see your name up on screen there, like Hawk Strike he rejoined, became a Ring of Honor member as an example. So thank you for everybody that has become members, and folks are gifting memberships more and more. Super freaking cool. The whole pay it forward thing with that notion is amazing. I'd love to talk to you. We could talk to you after. We don't have to production meeting live, but I'm like, oh man, should we keep doing a pregame show? Should we do a little hour before kickoff, crack a beer, look at the actives and inactives? I'm game. And of course we will be live post game after the event as well, which is going to be a lot of fun. And let's bring in Brandon Schultz as well. Brandon coming in from way downtown. How are you, bud?
I'm doing great, man.
Yes.
I'm ready for victory on Sunday.
There you go. So are we. Brilliant's first words. All right, Brandon, great to have you, bud.
I'm out.
And that's a wrap. Victory.
You did a good job there. So we're reminding folks, and we'd love you to subscribe, but the numbers keep going up. We really appreciate it. Another reason to sub, though, is that if you do subscribe, you're very much likely going to see the algorithm will feed you our polls. And we use the YouTube poll feature a lot because it's a lot of fun. You guys talked about this a bit last night, but I think it's kind of cool to canvas. We asked the flockers out there just saying, hey, the confidence level in Imanwari's injury. Obviously he says he's going to play. We know he's going to tape it and probably get a couple of happy shots before game and halftime. But we asked, and almost 500 people answered this one. Very simple, guys. Are you still very nervous about his ability to play? Or no, we good. Brandon, yes, he's going to play. Is there nervousness about how effective he might be?
Not really, because I know that we're good in terms of depth. If it looks early on that he's not going to be effective, then I'll take the any number of depth pieces that you can throw out there that will then support him if he needs to come off the field.
Yeah, I feel that. I do know how much Macdonald plans, with and through Imwari being there, because he is a different type of beast out
Well,
there.
sure. But
And
he has a
yes,
plan for how they're going to operate if he
of,
can't go.
of course. And like you guys talked about last night on the flagship, a lot of it will revolve around Spoon then playing more the Imwari role, which means Job's on the field more, or Woolen, et cetera, and Drake. So we are deep. Adam, the Flockers are kind of okay with this. 84% saying we good. How do you feel?
Well, they're right as always. Look, we don't know exactly, and we're not gonna know. They're not gonna give us the full rundown of what happened here, but even still, you listen to Eamon Warrior in his press conference, and he's just like, "Yeah, man, I rolled my ankle, and
Mhm.
yeah, it was yesterday. I'm pretty much already better today, and like, we're just taking some precautions." And on top of all of that, even if he's lying, even if it's worse, you talked about vitamin T, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, that will make up for a lot of that. And if it doesn't look like there's any risk structurally, and it's just a pain tolerance thing, then that's what they'll do, and he'll be just fine. So yeah, we good.
Yeah, I
There's
think
also
so.
vitamin A, which is adrenaline.
Yes, right.
I
So
know they
he'll be
they
fired
say
up.
that, like that's what even Warren said to his president. He's like, well, once the adrenaline starts flowing, and I was like, oh, that's what's gonna be flowing, huh? Okay.
Well, I
Look,
think he's had injury issues, minor injuries. I feel like, gosh, the second game against the Rams, he was kind of limping around a little bit in between plays, but then once it was go time during plays, like the dude was just as fast as, like, he didn't lose a step at all. So I think he's been dealing with injuries throughout the season, and it hasn't seemed to impact them as long as he's out there on the field.
yeah, I've got buddies that I grew up on Long Island. Buddies on Long Island text me they're like, "Oh, this story's BS. He's not even hurt. You're just gaming it." I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure he actually did hurt his ankle, but again, he will be okay. The flock is right once again. Did ask a second poll, which is going to play more into the second half of the show when we get into our Blue Friday bets, the picks and props and parlays and everything. This one was saying, hey, given the Vegas odds, they might have changed a little bit since then. Which Seahawk would you choose for Super Bowl MVP? We got 4 choices there. Sammy at plus 115, so obviously the most likely according to Vegas. JSN plus 550, K9 plus 850, or the whole bucket of other, which no odds on that. Just who would it be if you choose other? So Adam, we're going to look at some I know this comes up later because I know we're selecting for BFB, but given the choices, do you think the flock is on? They took the obvious answer. The most people are gravitating towards Sammy, but not the majority.
Well, first off, the question at the top of the screen reads, which Seahawks Super Bowl MVP do you like the best? And there's not none of all of the above.
All of the above, all.
And yeah, I like them all. I think they're great. I love Seahawks Super Bowl MVPs. They're great.
True.
Now, of these choices here, I'm going to say either K9 or other, to be honest, like the last 2 options there, only because Sam Darnold, like when he plays well, he doesn't necessarily stick out, if that makes sense, right? It doesn't feel like it's because of him usually. I know he had the huge game against the Rams and all that, but the defense really is the star. Kenneth Walker, he makes like those electric eye-catching plays that kind of lead to Super Bowl votes and things like that. And, JSN, I think if he had 120 yards receiving in this game, everybody would be like, oh yeah, JSN had 120 again, and then moving on. So I'm going to go K9 or other, just because K9 explosive electric, and the defense really is kind of the straw that stirs the drink.
Well, Brandon, I know that you were on the JSN train when we did the What If show, and then given the odds of plus 550, does that shake you one way or another, or is that still where your heart's at?
Well, plus 550. I think that's awfully good because I
Juicy,
think there's also a recency bias component to this now, with him earning the NFL Honors Offensive Player of the Year award. And so that way, I think that, for one, if Sam Darnold does go off, I don't necessarily see JSN being the backseat guy to Cooper Kupp and gosh, anybody else on the offense, whether it's Rashid Shaheed. I don't necessarily see it. So it's going to be that link between Sam and JSN. And so then it's going to come down to that offensive decision of, do you give it to the wide receiver? Do you give it to the quarterback? And I think with that Offensive Player of the Year component, it's going to feel more to people like it's JSN who is deserving of it.
Yeah, it might be. It might shake that way. Look, again, if any of these hit, great. Then we are very, very happy. So we do have the news and notes we're going to get on to. So we got some things to look at, some injuries. We're going to look at some of the news from last night as well and get us focused as we head into the weekend. So, guys, the injury report from both sides. Let's start with the Patriots. So the Patriots it's a shorter list. Drake May appears to be fine-ish. He's full participant, but we'll see. We'll see what goes on with the shoulder, if it's totally fine in terms of strength. And we really won't know that until we see him throw the football. The thing I circled at the bottom of the screen is that as of yesterday, so Thursday's practice, they're probably out there practicing right now. Thursday's practice, Howard Landry, their outside linebacker, was actually downgraded. And that's fairly significant because while Pats fans will play it down and be like, oh, he wasn't really a big contributor here, there, blah, 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 anyway. And it's all about these two defensive tackles that Thanos himself couldn't stop with all five stones. Yeah, cool. Landry still had 8.5 sacks and still led the team. So, are they downplaying missing a pretty significant piece in your opinion, Adam?
I would say I don't know if that's downplaying it. He's a valuable contributor, but as you kind of put it, like the two inside guys, that's really where it's at for them. The edge defenders have been underwhelming for the most part, but anytime you have a starter, a legitimate contributor that is downgraded, I mean, that's going to hurt, especially on a team that is lacking talent in comparison to the Seahawks roster to start with. Probably maybe not the end of the world, but it sure ain't good for them.
Right. And then Spillane is, yes, he's now limited, but he's got an ankle as well, but a much more serious ankle injury than seemingly what's happened to Imanwari. It looks like he's going to play, Brandon, but, if a linebacker's got a gimpy leg and he can't go side to side as he would normally want to, how do you think it plays into the game here?
I do feel like this is very similar to Imanwari, even though maybe the timelines are a little bit different. I think that once the game gets going, both of these guys they're going to be out there and playing.
All right. You expect Spillane. I do too, because these dudes, this is
the game. You don't
20-something years.
This game.
Yeah, exactly. 20-something years of their life basically dedicated to this. On the Seahawks side, I just put 2 pins out there. Obviously, we talked about Imanwari already, so don't really need to talk about him again. We expect him out there, but he's the big name. And then I think Robbie Oots is still interesting. He's still got the neck. He's still limited. And the way Mike is talking about him, or was last week heading into this week, I get the feeling that we're not going to see Oots. And I don't know if you guys have a feeling one way or another. Just kind of reading the tea leaves, I don't think we're going to have our big fullback. Brandon, what do you think?
Yeah, based on tea leaves, based on the nature of the injury, it's one thing to go out there and play with a knee injury or an ankle injury. Neck injury and a rookie, like they have Brady Russell. They have other options that they can make it work in the run game. And even if he is healthy, I could even see him potentially being a scratch in this game if that's the way they decide to go with it.
I think so. I think it's possible too. Adam, scale of 1 to 12, 12 being horrible in this case, 1 being, which that's bad. 1 being horrible, 12 being amazingly good or optimistic. Where would you place? How much do you think we're going to see Robbie Oots out there? 1 being like, we're not going to see him.
46.3. I don't know. Because it's impossible to know, right? Like this is, you guys both talked about tea leaves and like all that stuff. I'm like, what tea leaves? We don't know jack. It could easily just be that they're like, hey, Oots is going to be a big part of this game, and we're going to down or upplay this injury quite a bit throughout the week, and maybe make the Patriots think that he's not going to play, and then surprise, he's going to play. You could give me about anything on this. Is Robbie Oots going to play? Is Robbie Oots don't play? Sure, yeah, or not.
Fine.
And the thing is though, what if you said that if Oots was healthy, you wouldn't surprise you if he was a healthy scratch on top of that. That's
healthy enough to play. I maybe I didn't word that quite appropriately, but
okay.
Like if it's a question, like with a neck injury, like it's.
I hear you. You don't want to screw around with those.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So we're moving off of the what we don't knows, and we'll move to some things we do know. So last night at the NFL Honors, Offensive Player of the Year. Hey, we could pronounce JSN's name appropriately, but he takes that home. That was really cool. But I also put on screen, I'd say the two biggest quote unquote snubs, with Eamon Mari losing out to Schlesinger, and then Mike losing out to Vrabel, who, by the way, Brandon, so we know how they pronounced, Jackson Smith and Jigba's name horribly wrong. Did you happen to hear how Vrabel's name got pronunciated last night too?
No, because I did not care.
Yeah. So I forget who it was, but she called him Mike Verbal. So that was cool. It'd be nice if the NFL got people that could just,
Pronounce
study
names.
Yeah, pronounce names.
Especially an awards ceremony.
Yes, at their NFL honors.
Recognizing an achievement from a full year. Yeah, it might be cool to get their name right.
Might be. So
it doesn't bother Roger Goodell, though, when he goes and drafts players and can't get their name right either. So it all starts at the top.
I actually like this because it lowers the bar. And so every time we screw up, be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
like, we're not even a national show like these people.
Yeah, Mike Verbal. So
it's better than Nauble.
Yes, and it's better than what they say was JSN's last name, that's for sure. All right, so of the two snubberies there,
what did they call him that you're so
you're not allowed to? You don't. They basically said the N word is what they called them. Yeah, and then stumbled over it.
But kind of with a J.
Sort of. It was bad, right? So it's like my word, like just do a little bit of study.
It was bad enough that they cut it from the actual clip that the NFL posted. Like he was trying to make a joke around it and mispronounced it like 5 different ways, including the way that Clinton's trying to say.
Not trying to say it. No, yeah, not at all. So of the two snubberies there, though, Adam, which one do you think is, I guess, more snub? The Coach of the Year or Defensive Rookie?
That's tough because, man, the Eamon Mari thing probably pisses me off the most because it's just so obvious when he's on the field, like the impact that he has and the way that he has helped take this defense to the next level and just how versatile and unique and all of that he is. And then they give it to, Schwessenler or whatever the hell his name is in Cleveland, another white tackling machine behind a crappy defensive line. So he's got a zillion opportunities to get those zillion tackles. And I can't wrap my head around that one. But then you think about Coach Mike and like, he didn't even finish second, right? Didn't he finish third in that? Yeah. I mean, that's like, I get slapped in, this side of the face, and then I turn around and see that is right back the other way. I've got whiplash from these voters, their terrible pronunciation, all of it, man. Like,
was Kyle? Was Kyle number 2?
I think Kyle was 2, or maybe Liam Cohen was 2. I want to say Liam was 2. I think actually. So I think Kyle would have been 4. Okay. Well, Brandon, the good news.
As long as we beat Kyle, then that actually makes it makes me more upset now about Eamon Mari. As long as our coach beat Kyle.
Well, I do know one thing that'll matter a lot more versus these NFL honors, and we put it on screen here, Brandon. So this is the one vision of. And this is JSN. I don't know who did this. I wish I could give credit for the image. It's a scribble, cursive sign there. I didn't see who did it, but lovely treatment there.
That's Jackson Smith and Jigba's signature.
Oh, is that? Okay, I see the X. Okay, so maybe there you go. So somebody did the art. He, quote unquote, signed it. It looks beautiful. But we called it One Vision. Do you know who that is rocking that beautiful throwback Seahawks
of course, that's Freddie Mercury.
It's Freddie Mercury, right? So,
okay.
Yeah, that's Freddie. Freddie was be known to rock the Seahawks garb, and One Vision, of course, being a very, very fun and popular Queen song. So look, all the trinkets of the NFL awards, cool, fine, and great. We're happy when we win them. It's a nice honor, and the one on Sunday is really all that matters. So I love this graphic. Whoever did create it, bravo. Not the Freddie Mercury one, but of course the JSN one.
That's just a picture.
Yes, that's just yes. Somebody took
I created that.
I love that. All right, and a little bit more news, a little bit more fun news that I thought would be fun to bring up real quick is that it was announced that on our side, Chris Pratt from Everything will be the person announcing the Seahawks, and on the other side, they're digging up John Bon Jovi for the Patriots.
Is he not a Jersey guy? I thought.
Well, it's two things. He's from Jersey. He's a Jersey guy, and he tried to buy the Buffalo Bills about a decade ago. So which one is it? You know, he just gets to glom the entire Northeast. I don't get it at all. At all.
Nobody else wanted to do it. How far down they are on the Patriots totem. Like,
I don't know.
Is John Bon Jovi a fan? Maybe. Let's invite him.
I mean, it's
hey, what are you doing, John? Nothing, I guess. Yeah, no, Pats. Hooray.
Just rolling around in my billions of dollars. I mean, look, one is a now star and one is a star of the past. So maybe a little
kind of
bit
fitting, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe kind of fitting. And then the last bit of news, which we always like to talk about too, is just checking on the weather. We put the nice picture of Levi Stadium. Hey, Brandon, what's in the end zone there of that picture of Levi Stadium?
Beautiful Seahawks logo.
Let's see. We took over, taking over the placards, the dressing rooms, everything else, of course, the end zones. And it's going to be very good weather. So low wind, 65, 60 degrees, perfect football weather. Good. We don't need slop. We don't need weather elements in a game like this. I think it's actually better for our deal, Adam, that the weather is nice and clean and it could be less sloggy, because I think the Pats would potentially benefit if the game were more sloggy, because that's technical.
Oh, you bet. As we go through all the different matchups in this game, it's like advantage Seahawks, advantage Seahawks, advantage Seahawks, and good weather, advantage Seahawks, because you're right. The narrow path for the Patriots could include bad weather. Not going to get it down there at Lumen South. I'm happy to see that.
Looking at this photo, that Seahawks logo is not in the end zone. Do they also put the team logos on the sideline?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Unless you could score out that way too in the Super Bowl, and they changed the rules.
I think we already scored.
They go all like Canadian football rules. It's all wild out there. You're right though. That's not the end zone, but it's a nice sideline shot. All right. So those are the news. Those are the notes and everything already there. And we are going to be rolling into Blue Friday bets, where we look at our picks, our props, our parlays, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But to do that, guys, we got to welcome somebody very, very special in. Brandon, who do we got to bring up on the stage right now?
Oh, we've got a two-time champ of Blue Friday bets, or maybe not Blue Friday bets, but whatever we called it before. It's Wilson Kahn. How you doing, Wilson?
Guys, I'm over the moon. So happy to be here. So excited to win the Super Bowl this Sunday.
There you go, dude.
There we go. Let's end it, guys.
Let's end it. And I think with that, no, perfect. Good stuff. And Wilson, very happy to have you. And for those that don't know, Wilson is a two-time champion when the show was called PNW Prop Stars, and he kind of retired, but we brought him back for the playoff run. We were texting as we were getting close, being like, hey, playoffs, can you be in? He was like, let's do it. So look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So he is back for this last ride with us for the year. We're pumped. And Wilson happens to live in California and happens to be from the Bay Area where he grew up. So extra special. Wilson, are you surrounded by mostly really resentful people who don't want the Seahawks to win on their home turf?
Well, I will say, being out here in the East Bay, it's a little bit of a different energy, because there's a lot of Raiders fans who hate the Niners and have sort of, in some ways, adopted the Seahawks as their second team. So surprisingly, it's not too hostile. I'm sure if I was in San Francisco or closer to Santa Clara, it'd be a different story. But also just a lot of people around who hate the Patriots.
Yes.
So I feel pretty safe wearing this out in public.
High hates for the Patriots. One thing I don't hate is winning Blue Friday bets. And guys, I know it was 2 weeks ago. And guys, you might not remember, but I kicked an ass or two last time. So I am the Blue Friday bets champion from the NFC Championship when we beat those stupid Rams, because I had two big ones hit: Cooper Kupp for 4+ receptions, and then the dandy Sam Darnold, 3 touchdowns, Adam, for plus 338. I'm wearing the crown at the most important time of the year. How's that make you feel?
It is a little bit infuriating to watch you win the crown this week with the two people that I doubted the most coming into this season by far, and then still had like lingering doubts in the back of my brain going into a giant NFC Championship game. And then for Cooper to go out there and actually perform as he did, score a touchdown, and then for Sam to play out of his mind, it's just like, okay, whatever's white is black, up is down, whatever it is, that's where we live these days. And Clinton takes the crown in an NFC Championship game. But look, man, if you're going to be a Bear, be a Grizzly, right? So I'm hoping that you're going to be doing some big optimistic bets because you made it come to life, basically. Like you brought it to fruition.
Yeah, and Brandon, look, Adam took an O for a golden sombrero.
Oh God!
But Wilson might have hit the most important bet. If you could look what's back on stage, Wilson's the only dude who actually called for the Seahawks to win the game and cover, Brandon.
Yes, win and cover along with a K9 anytime touchdown. So pairing it with that gave him some nice odds. So yeah, why didn't you guys do that?
I don't know. I don't know.
He was too busy making better bets.
Wilson's smart. He did take Seattle to win, and stick around because we're going to get into this week's as well. So it is Blue Friday bets, just so you know, like it's a game within a game. So if you're following along at home, it's like, well, okay, you saw the scoreboard just then. You saw a bet 1, bet 2, bet 3, and something we call the Fail Mary. So how does it work? It works like this. The first 3 bets are $10 bets. Take anything you want on the board. Doesn't matter. Negative odds, positive odds, whatever. Hell's bells. Take whatever you want. The last bet is only $1 bet. We call it the Fail Mary, the Sunday Scratcher, the Sunday Rubber, because everybody calls it that. But it must be plus 1,200 or longer odds to even qualify. And boys, that will bring us, I think I got to add Wilson back here. Let's do that. And Brandon as well. And let's do this. There we go. So that brings us to this week's Blue Friday bets, which, by the way, can we just take a second and say we're in the freaking Super Bowl, right? We're in the freaking. Hey, Wilson, you typing up a dissertation, brother? What you got there?
In case you're wondering what the tapping is, it's got to be Wilson.
He's in law school. He's just typing up dissertations.
Do some briefings.
Yeah.
Dude, was he not typing?
Oh, he was hammering. It's all good. He's got the Kermit the Frog hands. It's all good. So we are here. It is Wilson. You're still typing. If you want to type, you can
I don't
go
think
on.
he can hear us.
Wilson, can you hear us? Can he hear us?
I don't know.
I hope he can. He's just joshing us. Wilson, can you hear us? He must be typing. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
He says he can't hear Clinton.
What the heck? Okay, he's gonna leave and come back.
The
funny part is I'm crapping on him for typing. He's typing, "Hey guys, I can't hear you." Pretty sure Sesame Street made a Bert and Ernie bit out of that many years ago.
I can't hear you.
Yeah. Oh, he goes, Bernie, take the banana out of your ear. He goes, I can't hear you. I've got a banana in my ear. So that we basically saw that in real life. Well, let's allow Wilson to come back in, then we'll get into the first round of Blue Friday bets there. So guys, tap dance. What else you got? How are you, Brandon? You're home for the game. Special things that you might be brewing up or cooking.
Yeah. Home for the game. Nothing special. I'm going to treat it like a normal Sunday.
All right, perfect. Wilson,
apart
can you hear
from
us?
the victory.
Of course.
Yes, sorry about that.
Yes, that's great. Hey, watch back later because you will laugh. All right, so it is Blue Friday bets. We do the whole thing, honor system. I won last week. I go first this week, and we like to get out of the gate. Look, I think this one, even though it's plus odds, I'll put it on screen in a second. Even though it's plus odds with a little bit of juice, I think this is like down the freaking center of the fairway. You guys tell me. I'll put it on screen. I got K9 at what I think is a paltry 25 yards receiving, 25 yards at plus 114. I was a little bit shocked. Wilson, we'll go to you first. A little shocked personally to get this kind of plus on what I don't think are a lot of yards for the dude that's going to touch the ball probably 24 to 26 times.
Yeah, this is a pretty good bet. I wish I had seen this.
Yeah. All right. So Brandon, I mean, 25 yards, a screen or two. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, he can sometimes even pick this up on one screen on 3rd and 23, right? That's something that we've seen in the past. And really, that's something that he's been hitting 4 out of the last 5 games. The game in late December against the Rams, he had 3 catches, 64 yards. Against the first game the final regular season game against the Niners, 4 catches, 36, 29 yards against the second game against the Niners in the playoffs, and then 49 yards last game against the Rams.
So he's been cooking it, Adam, 25 yards. I know what the bets look like, and I know you like K9 a little bit later in this with receptions too. Does that yards feel pretty gettable to you?
It feels very gettable. It's kind of funny because this was one of the bets that I looked really hard at and almost went with. And the only reason I did it is because I like my third down bet with receptions a little bit more, just because the odds get a little higher, all that good stuff. So there's a lot of good logic into K9 being able to bust this. And I think the number one thing, Clinton, and this is where I'm on the same wavelength with you, I do think that it's going to be difficult to run between the tackles for the majority of the day for the Seahawks, but they can't get to the edge. And if you're struggling running the football, then one of the ways you can get the running back involved is those little short passes and kind of the extended handoff. And I think this is a game that you could see more of that than usual. And it's been trending that way. And K9's going to get his touches in this game. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. This is his last game under contract, right? So his rookie contract ends on Sunday, and clearly Seattle is like, okay, Helani's going to get a couple of touches. Maybe he gets a few more, but you got your dog, you got your guy. Why not ride him? So I like this one first. We're going to go to Wilson second. Boys, I just got to tell the entire panel here, careful. Just careful. These are dangerously spicy. This first one's pretty spicy. Wilson, take it away, bud.
Well, I went spicy, as Clinton was saying. The Seahawks, I feel like a lot of this season have been playing with house money, even though it's a good team. I think none of us really expected them to get this far. I obviously am not playing for a title right now, so I feel pretty free to do whatever I need to. So I've taken, for the first down bet, JSN to have the most receiving yards for the game, and with K9 to have the most rushing yards at 144. My logic here is simple. I think these are the two best skill position players in the game, not in the NFL, but in this particular game. So I think, if this does not hit, things have gone pretty wrong for the Seahawks. I'm not really super sold on Ramondre Stevenson. I know Travion Henderson didn't play a lot in the AFC Championship. I kind of think he's the better back in New England. I actually like him, but I think just for volume, K9's going to get so much more than either of the New England backs. Are going to be splitting more. And let's be honest, Stephon Diggs is not who he used to be. So I'm going to feel pretty comfortable with this one. I don't love the number, but I feel comfortable about both things happening.
Pretty big number, Adam, at plus 144. But what about Wilson's facts, logic, and reason on how he got there?
I'm so mad because this is such a good bet. Like I like this so much for a couple reasons. Number one, as Wilson pointed out, there's nobody on the Pats in their receiving core that I look at and go, oh yeah, they're going to out receive the offensive player of the year. Like that, they just doesn't exist over there. And then I think about the Seahawks defense and the way that they've shut down every single running back in the game that they've faced. And they faced the best of the best this year. I just don't see them being able to put up much in the rushing game. You get K9 out there. I know he's going to get his touches. I think this is basically a slam dunk. And then you get plus 144 on top of that. This is filthy. It gives me the vapors a little bit just thinking about it. Like, this is good.
Hey, Brandon. So I had a plus number. Wilson had a spicier plus number. Where do you think Adam is on his first down bet?
Oh, gosh. So we aren't going all the way over plus 200, are we?
We are not. No. We're not. So Adam takes out the 5-iron and says, I want to put this down the fairway and get out of the gate. But Adam, tell the viewers, especially the audio folks, what are you doing and why?
All right, you guys, I took the coward's first bet. That's fine. If you guys want to make fun of me, that's fine. But I took an easy peasy one that I think is definitely going to hit. I like winning is what it all is about. And so I got Seahawks to have more first downs in this game than the Patriots, and I get minus 175 for that. It's not a big number. It's a tiny number. This is an easy one, though, when I think about Seahawks offense against Pats defense and vice versa. No brainer to me. I just wanted to get on the board. And honestly, I didn't go crazy this week. I really didn't.
Yeah, you took a conservative approach until the end. Stick around because you do gas it towards the end, which is a lot of fun. So Brandon, are you shocked by the conservatism? But how about the bet itself?
No, I'm not shocked by conservatism. That's kind of in a game like this. I think if you're playing to win, you maybe take out some easy shots early on. And this seems very probable. The only thing that I'm trying to think through on this is that idea of, how many first downs is Drake going to pick up with his legs? Are they going to do the dink and dunk part to where it adds up to a lot of first downs and they don't get the explosives and they just end up, gosh, you can win on first downs, but then lose tremendously in points too.
Yeah, so Wilson, good point by Brandon there. You could matriculate down the field, and the Patriots do that pretty well, actually. Drake May's legs, he's got a high completion percentage. But if it ends in threes, then really who cares, or zeros when they try for it on fourth down. But do you think at minus 170, this is 175, this is worth the squeeze?
I think it is, because I think it's pretty likely to happen. I think obviously Seattle being a big play offense is one thing that gives me a little bit of pause here, and you'll see later on that I also think the Patriots are going to probably end up possessing the ball for quite a bit of time in this game. That'll come up on third down, so maybe I can explain more then.
Teaser. All right, stick around. All right, so I'm on second down, and yes, we're gonna just all brakes, no gas here. This one, I got to give some credit. I got this one while listening to John Gruden's Seahawks Patriots matchup. They talked about it in the background. I said, that is an interesting prop. And the more I thought about it, the more I liked it. So this is kind of just a game prop that there'll be more than 2 human beings who attempt to pass. So basically over 2.5 people try a pass. And I beg that it's not a Seahawk, like other than Sam
Drew
Darnold,
Lock
right?
is just fine in garbage time.
You know what? If Drew's in,
that's what I was thinking, Brandon.
Oh, there you go. If Drew's in early fourth quarter, then let the hose do hose things. I like that. But the bet is over 2.5 people, so 3 or more humans attempt to pass. But I get paid plus 132. I still think about, Adam, you talked about it like 10 days ago, that this Super Bowl is actually way more like Steelers Seahawks 2005 2006. I agree with you. And the Patriots with McDaniels, they like their trickery, Adam. They will try this stuff. So some sort of pitch right, and they try to get cute, and some of the dude throws an interception that Tariq Woolen picks off or Kobe Bryant picks off, and we're happy because I hit the bet. But do you think, I guess the question would be, do you think it'll be Josh McDaniels getting cute, or the hose getting a couple of throws because we're blowing out the Patriots?
I actually didn't like this bet when it first flopped on the screen here, but then both Wilson and Brandon made a nice point saying, hey, it could be Drew Lock even late in the game in mop-up duty. And I do think that that's in range, because when I think of the likely outcomes, Seahawks like win in a relatively close game is probably the most likely. And I think the next likely thing is Seahawks in a blowout. So there's that aspect of it. And then I also think about, look, the Patriots are going to have like a Philly special type moment in this game to win this football game, because they are so outmatched across the board. Yeah, I could see it, as long as it's not Cooper Kupp like back there, winging it just so that he can cement his legacy or something, at the end of the day. I'm good with it. So
let's make a blood oath. Let's make a blood oath right here, right now, boys. Not Cooper Kupp, not any other Seahawk besides the two quarterbacks. And for the love of all things holy, not DJ Dallas, Brandon.
Cooper Kupp, 2 touchdown catches and 1 touchdown throw, and MVP. He gets his second Super Bowl MVP.
I love it. Well, we're wish casting. Why not? All right. So Wilson, you're up on number 2, and you have got some K9 to talk about, brother.
Yeah, I think K9, as mentioned, has been just getting a huge amount of touches lately, especially also now since the Charbonnet injury. 90-plus rush was a big number, but I'm kind of the belief that the Seahawks are going to win this game pretty comfortably. I think the Patriots are pretty severely outmatched. I think Drake May has been playing very, very poorly in the playoffs. So I feel very good about a cover here. The harder part was the 90-plus. I threw it on there, almost got to a spicy Wilson 300 here on second down, but decided to save the spice for what comes later on.
Yeah. So Adam, I called out, had Brandon take the baton, but I called it out earlier that, hey, Wilson's bet that hit last week was a very similar combo. It was basically like K9 doing something special and the Seahawks covering the number that Vegas says they should cover. So that's what we got here. Can K9 get to 90+ versus this defense, though? That to me is the big question.
In just rush yards, I do think that gets tough. I'm not sure that that's where we're going to see the K9 breakout in this game, or the K9 effect in this game. And obviously your first down bet reflects that. My third down bet reflects that. I really like the points end of this. Yeah. I mean, I said this on one of our shows earlier this week, like the line at 4.5 for the Seahawks, I think it's kind of laughable. I think it should be about 7.5. So that part of it, I actually like a ton. Only rush yards here makes me a little nervous, but it's a spicy number at plus 288. No doubt about it.
Nearly a Wilson 300, Brandon. And so if K9 is to get to 90, do you think K9 needs one of those 25 plus yard scampers to get there, or can he just 4.5 yard per average and just run the ball a lot?
It depends on how early it gets out of hand, and if they decide to just keep hammering away with Ken, like in the third quarter type time frame before they were to put in more Holani. So I would like this more if it were 110 combined versus 90 rush, but it's also fun. So
it is fun. It is fun at the plus 288. You mentioned the spread earlier, the game spread. I'm still shocked that the line has not moved. That part's weird to me because you see all these other things out there like, hey, the most, which I don't love, that the most amount of, like the most percentages of money ever are on Seahawks against the spread, like ever in the Super Bowl era. I'm like, oh God, I don't like that. And then the line doesn't move also. It's like something feels weird. And I'm not going to go to conspiracy town. It just feels like, well, why wouldn't the line move then? If all this money is flocking towards to
I
Seattle.
did hear that the bigger percentage of money line bets are actually on the Patriots, though.
Oh, okay. Well, that would probably solve for it right there. Yeah, because right now, the money line, you're almost at plus 200 for the Patriots. Which is, doubling your money is nice. But you're going to throw your money in a furnace because that's not going to
And,
happen.
if I were a Seahawks fan with like a lot of money to spare to where I just wanted to make myself feel happy if we ended up getting a loss, like, sure, if I had 50 grand that I could put down and then I double my money and that could help with any emotions that may cause. And if I had that much money to just throw away, I could be happy that my team has a Super Bowl and being out 50 grand.
Yeah, rolling around like John Bon Jovi and his gold coins and all. So, Adam, you have a second down bets as well, and you're going to the dude that's kind of captured the last week of attention, or at least the last 3 or 4 days of attention, especially from our Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, and the second that I heard Nick talk about where he is physically in his press conference, I was like, sweet, I'm all in, because Nicky Manwari is my second favorite Seahawk. That's just where it's gotten to this point. I love betting on this defense, and I like this bet quite a bit because it's Nicky Manwari tackles plus assists, right? Not just solo tackles, but plus assists.
Yep.
7+, and you get plus 137. I think he's going to be involved heavily in containing Drake May and helping to bring him down when he's out there using his legs. And I think that the Patriots are going to find that running into the middle of that brick wall of the Seahawks defense is not something that's fun to do. And they're going to be trying to bounce that outside. And Nick's going to have a lot of opportunities at a lot of tackles. And he's just a baller, man. And this is a game where a player like Nicky Manwari can put himself in the national consciousness, and he just got hosed out of defensive rookie of the year. And I think he's going to put on a show, man, and show that they got it wrong. So I like this one a lot. Nicky Manwari tackles plus assists 7+ at plus 137.
Very nice. So Brandon, so you're nodding, and I think you're doing some crack research live and you're smiling there. So what do you got?
Well, I'm glad it was solo plus assist because the only game where he hit 7 solo tackles, nice spelling on tackles, by the way, Clinton.
Tackles.
It's the French version of a tackle.
Yeah, which is not tackle, ironically.
But he only hit the 7 solo once, and that was the overtime win over the Rams. But if you look over the course of the season, he did hit the solo plus assist 6 different times, including the playoffs. So, and it does feel like later in the season, we've seen this more as he's been a bigger part of the defense.
Yeah, thank you. So Wilson, spelling errors aside, this is a team with the Patriots that they like to dump it off to their running backs. They like to get their tight ends involved, and Drake May runs the ball. So is Adam onto something here?
I think he is. I really think Manwari, even with the slight injury concern, is going to have his fingerprints all over this game. So
yeah.
I love it.
Me too. That might be my favorite bet on the board. That I've seen them all, so that's a really, really looking solid. We like it, so that's good stuff. All right, bet 3 for me, and I'm about to get a little bit spicier. We've been talking about running the football, and we're talking about K9, and we're talking a little bit about George Holani, but there's another dude that might just get a touch or two. And if he does, if you give a cat a cupcake, then I think he's got a shot to take an end around or take a student body left a couple times a game because he's the fastest dude out there. And that is Rashid Shaheed to get 20 plus yards running the football. But I get a careful, boys, careful, extremely spicy Wilson 300 plus 370. Adam, can you see Rashid Shaheed getting around the bend with a convoy of dudes? And it's like, cash it. Can you see it?
I could definitely see it. And one of the reasons I do see it that way is that when you have a defense like the Patriots, where they're not particularly fast, but they are a solid defense. They're not even close to the best defense in the league, Pat fan, just making sure that you know that. But with that said, they're a solid defense. But to do that with less speed and a little less talent than a lot of teams have, you've got to overcommit and play things hard and come downhill on stuff. And Shaheed could be that misdirection guy on like, fly sweep or reverse or something like that. You get the convoy out front, Zabel's making pancakes, I'm having a ball, and you hit your plus 370. It could happen, man. If he gets 3 touches in the run game, I think this is a lock.
Brandon, can we wrap up? Is it possible for the Seahawks to wrap up Protector of the Year for next year's honors because they block so well for Shaheed?
I don't think so in this game, unfortunately. There's a key component of your research that you missed in this game.
Research?
Yes. Shaheed has gone 20 plus in 3 games this season, once against the Niners, once against the Rams, once against the Cardinals. And the New England Patriots do not play in the NFC West. So whiff.
Yep. That's hey, Wilson, I don't think I could argue with that logic. I mean, you're the lawyer here.
Yeah, I think, Shaheed's the X factor. He's the game breaker, whatever you want to call him. If Kubiak doesn't go his direction at least twice in this game, I think it's a mistake. But I don't know. Hard to argue with the facts from Brandon there.
They were cold and hard facts. All right. So you are on your third down bet. And I like this because we're bringing up a dude we haven't talked a lot about. And I like what you're saying. If this happens, we're very, very happy during the game. So take it away. Wait, wrong one. Take it away.
Yeah, listen, I've mentioned this earlier. I think I've made it clear that I don't think this game is going to be particularly close and that I think the teams are a little outmatched. And I think the biggest mismatch is the Seahawks defense versus the Patriots offense in favor of the Seahawks. Listen, Drake May, congratulations to him. He's had a great season playing the weakest schedule in the Super Bowl era. You got to hand it to him. He's been pretty bad in the playoffs. He's been right towards the bottom out of any playoff QB and QBR. He's been struggling with turning the ball over. I think the Seahawks defense is really going to give him a lot of fits in this game. Obviously, he hasn't had to play the caliber of defense that we have in regular conditions. The Texans, I think, were put into a bit of a bind there by their own quarterback. So I really think this is going to be a struggle for Drake May, which is why I have him at 2+ interceptions. Now, I'll explain the over on the pass yards, which is I think the New England Patriots are going to be spending a long amount in this game, like pretty decently behind, where he's just going to have to take a lot of attempts. And 221.5 felt like a low enough number for me that I felt comfortable him getting over that. So yeah, obviously it's at 575, so it's not guaranteed to happen.
Yeah, careful.
I will say personally, I think I like the turnover side of this a little bit more than the pass yards over.
Wow.
I'm really quite confident that this is going to be pretty much a disaster for Drake May.
If you like the turnover part, why did you not go turnovers instead of INTs?
Yeah, I should mention by turnovers I mean INTs.
Drake May has not thrown 2 interceptions in a game all season.
Yeah, but he's had fumble problems like you mentioned, so perhaps I should have gotten turnovers. But yeah, I'm convinced that this is going to be a tough one for him.
Well, guys, the strip sack fumble interception, like the Michael Bennett versus New Orleans many years ago, right? I could see D-Law getting the strip sack where it goes up in the air for a second and it's actually picked off, and they count, they look and they go, what do we call that? Well, we call it a strip sack fumble interception touchdown for D-Law. And Wilson gets one of his 2. Hey, look, two interceptions for a dude who threw, I think, 8 on the year and doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. But that's why it's plus 575, Adam. With that, though, he's had a very tough slog in the playoffs. And, I don't want to hear like, oh, he's played good defenses. These are the best of the best of the best. It's been a gauntlet of defenses. Yeah, it's been good defenses. But are we better, Adam, or worse than the teams they played?
Yeah, better. Still better, continue to be better, will be better on Sunday. And I do agree with Wilson that I think it's going to be a bit of a slog for May in this game. Young quarterback against, again, a defense that he hasn't seen. Like, the only quarterback that's been able to solve this defense is a guy who got 3 cracks at it and is the MVP of the league, right? And won it over this guy. So I think it is going to be difficult for him, but the interceptions part of this bet, I hate it for all the reasons you guys talked about. Again, if it were turnovers, I'm right with you on that. And then also the 221, though, I kind of envision this to be closer to a Brock Purdy type game that Drake May is going to experience here because of the lack of talent at the receiver position. I think it's going to be difficult for those guys to get separation, give him clean windows. And then on top of that, offensive line being, well, subpar, if we're going to be honest about it, against the best defensive front collectively in football, it's going to be difficult for him, I still think, to get to 221. And on top of all that, I think for that narrow path for the Patriots to win, they've got to run the snot out of the football. And so that would lead me to believe that maybe if they're on schedule and all that stuff, it's going to be difficult for them to want to put the ball in Drake May's hands over and over and over again. But it's a massive number, plus 575. And you bet this sort of thing for a reason. It takes big balls to get blue chips. That's for sure.
222 would be a top 6 performance against this defense this calendar or this season.
Wow. That's crazy. Nuts. Good pull there. I do think that if this hits, the way Wilson laid it out it bodes very, very well for us. Like that he's getting this is garbage time stuff, check down stuff and whatever. And we're sitting back and just kind of, it's like we're up multiple scores and he's had a bad day, which would be really, really fun. So I'm rooting for it for sure. All right. So Adam, third down for you. We are going back to the dog pound. Take it away, dude.
Yeah, my third favorite Seahawk on this team, in a guy that I am going to miss going forward because I don't think he's going to be a Seahawk after this offseason.
Boo.
I'm not saying I like it. It doesn't make me happy, but it is kind of the economics of ball. So I wanted to bet on Ken Walker in perhaps his final game as a Seahawk. 4+ receptions at plus 181. And the idea being, I think it's going to be a struggle to run up the middle. I think it's going to be a way that they can get the ball in Ken's hands in space. And I think that's a brilliant maneuver because I would love to see him matched up one-on-one on an island out on the perimeter against any of their linebackers, against any of their corners. He'll put any of those guys in a blender. So, yeah, that's why I thought he'd get 4+. I think Kubiak is going to go there early and often.
So I think the question for the panel here, Wilson, I'll start with you, is I had a similar bet, but 25 yards. So it's like, whatever, get it in one, but it was all the way down to plus 114. Plus 181 is quite a bit spicier. Of the two, which one do you think is a better bet overall?
I think I would give the slight edge to the receptions bet just because you almost get twice as much juice. But as far as what I might have taken, I think I might have gone with a yardage, if that makes sense. I think you do get more value though from this bet than the receiving yards bet, in my opinion.
Yeah. So
the yardage part is, I think, the more likely based on history. He has only had 4 receptions twice, and that was just in the past 3 weeks, though. So you have seen him more involved in the passing game lately. Mm-hmm. And so I do like this, though, matchup-wise, because if the Patriots are going to be blitzing more, and one way to beat that would be a little quick throw out to K9. And I could see that being part of the game plan, especially with that increased blitz rate from the Patriots in the playoffs.
Well, they're saying they're going to do that, or at least all the Patriots brethren out there, like, like you said last night, guys, we just got to blitz Sam. That's all we got to do is got to blitz Sam. Okay. I cannot wait. Yes, I can't wait.
Let's go.
If you want to do that and we see some quote unquote, what looks like a jailbreak, and then all of a sudden K9's getting his 3rd screen of the game, and then you got to get one little wheel route and you hit this at him. I hope it happens. And plus 181, nice and spicy. So hope it happens. I hope they let's go just blitz Sam and just bring 7, bring 8. Cool. Dump it off to K9. Let him do magical things in space because he's really good. Before we get to the Fail Marys, you mentioned, Adam, K9 your 3rd, E-Man your 2nd. Who is your first Who's your number one Seahawk? Squeeze
His
right
name
now.
is Abraham Lucas, and he's a freaking baller. He's an amazing human, and he doesn't have a Twitter. I love Abe Lucas more than any Seahawk on this team, and I'm unabashed by it. He makes pancakes. He's a fantastic human. Just what else is there to say about the man, the myth, the legend, Abe Lucas?
Good. Inquiring minds wanted to know, so I was like, I wonder. I probably would not have pulled that. I just forgot. So, all right, you're up on your Fail Mary. And again, for folks who might be new to the Blue Friday bets portion, it's also the Sunday Scratcher, the Sunday Rubber. $1 bet must be plus 1,200 or longer to qualify. Adam, you went well over plus 1,200, and you've got something that goes along with a chant at the end of this game. Who is it?
This was the easiest bet for me to pick. Like, it popped up on my screen and I clicked on it instantly and I was like, here we go. That's a fantastic Fail Mary. I feel great about it. So it's Rashid Shaheed to be Super Bowl MVP at plus 3,000. Now, again, Fail Marys are a long shot, right? Of course, we talked about it in the poll earlier. You know, the odds on favorites are quarterback, receiver, that sort of thing. All it takes is one really amazing kick return, maybe two, like one to the house and another one that flips field position, and then one end around, and all of a sudden Rashid Shaheed's your Super Bowl MVP. And he is so electric with the ball in his hands that it can go off at any time. So if you're taking long shots, I'll take the guy who can detonate like dynamite at any given point. Rashid Shaheed, MVP, plus 3,000.
Love that. So Wilson, look, it's a plus 3,000. And if you're going to bet on that, maybe just bet on the freak. Does that sound pretty sound?
I like this. I mean, listen, we've seen Malcolm Smith win the Super Bowl MVP. It can really go to anyone. He wasn't even a top 2 linebacker on his own team. So to think that, Shaheed is available at 3,000, I don't hate that. Like you're saying, he's probably going to need a special teams touchdown plus to get this. But yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah. How about you, Brendan?
Yeah, I was trying to look up some of the other MVPs that
Desmond
are
Howard.
long shots, and no, just in this game.
Oh, okay.
And the other ones are Patriots. You don't want to pick them.
No,
because you do have to win. You don't have to win to get MVP. Like that's happened one time, but it's most likely goes to the winner. So the other guys I'm looking at would be Cooper Kupp at plus 6,600, Nicky Memori plus 8,000. Those are pretty spicy too.
Quite spicy there as well. But Shaheed touches the ball quite a bit, right? And if the defense is doing what they should be doing, then a couple more punts and away we go. So it would be a lot of fun. All right. So sensing a bit of a theme here, or at least I've got one that's maybe MVP-ish as well. But I would say if Wilson's Fail Mary hits, there's a very good chance this dude might be MVP. Wilson, take it away.
Yeah, I was poking around. I've thought very hard about the Emanwari MVP bet, and then I saw there was a little bit of a special for Super Bowl records. This bet does not give JSN a Super Bowl record, but it gets him pretty damn close at 13 receptions at plus 1,360. It's a little less spicy with the Fail Mary, but listen, this guy is capable of anything. I don't actually know that he's done 13 receptions so far this year. Usually he tops out around 10 or 11. In his biggest games, but hey, listen, the best players shine on the biggest stage. We're at Lumen South. I wouldn't be completely shocked if this happened.
10's the highest for the season this season.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a game to just spam Jackson and end that narrative of, well, it's not sustainable, Wilson, and it's not sustainable to run your offense through JSN.
Yeah, you can't give it to the best dude in the league. I also think the last time the four of us were together, I think it was the Patriots game, maybe the year previous, week 2. I think JSN had 12 that game. I'm pretty sure he had 12 receptions that game. So, Adam, we're asking for one measly more reception. That's all right. Get the 13.
Look, I think it's well within range. I love this bet. I think this is so well done, Wilson. And the big reason why is something we just talked about. The idea that the Patriots are going to want to blitz more as they have been and play more man coverage. You want to play man against JSN? Oh, good catfish luck. You are going to get torched. And I think about the idea that Pats fan says, well, we'll put Gonzalez on him out there in man-to-man.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He's not that guy.
He's not that dude. In fact, I would ask you guys a question. I'm curious to where legitimately you think this ranks here. Do you think Derek Stingley Jr. is a better corner or Christian Gonzalez?
Oh, Stingley,
I
easy.
think
Stingley,
I
no,
think
no
Stingley's
question.
better.
Exactly. And JSN torched the hell out of him. Like, and you think you're going to cover him with this guy? And I like Gonzalez. I think he's a good corner, but he's not that dude, as you guys said. I love it considering what the Patriots game plan sounds like it might be. Huge game.
Very nice. So we got that going for us, which is lovely. All right, I'm up on my Fail Mary. So I'll put it this way. If Wilson's is hitting or close to hitting, well, then this one might be in play, boys. So at plus 3,000, JSN anytime touchdown, JSN 150 yards receiving, and he gets the MVP, which gets me to plus 3,000. Brandon, I'll go to you first. Careful. This one's super. This is coming out like sizzling fajitas hot.
I mean, if you hit this, you chip me off 10% because this is what we talked about in What If, as JSN getting the MVP. So I will take partial credit for this and demand at least 40% commission.
With that really skyrocketed. So Adam, plus 3K here. Hey, look, if anybody, it's JSN, isn't it?
Look, big time players make big time plays in big time games. He is the offensive player of the year, boys and girls. And if you're going to bet on anybody to go off in a game, I like that both of you guys are on JSN here. I just heard from Braden here. His commission went up to 90%. So it just keeps on rising as the seconds tick by. But look, I mean, these are huge numbers, right? TD, 150 receiving yards, and get an MVP. That's a lot of stuff right there. But if anybody could do it, it's this man, Wilson.
Yeah, I think Clinton, you did a great job here. Our last bet this season is, I think, the most beautiful one. Let me ask, have you guys heard of JSN's new nickname that's been coined?
Oh, no.
So it's a bit of a joke online, but someone called him the Emerald City Route Artist. And I would say if the route artist is at work in this game, he's painting an absolute masterpiece en route to a big Seahawks win.
Yeah, love it.
Is that like a sandwich artist from Subway? Like
exactly.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to get out with it. Yeah.
If you guys see that around, ECRA.
Oh, well, it's got everything. What
it's a little bit longer than JSN, which is his traditional nickname.
Yeah, I like that one better. Yeah.
That reminds me of a wonderful Kermit the Frog joke in Muppets Take Manhattan, but that's for another day. Look, this has been a ton of fun. Another amazing season. What we'll do is we'll put this back on screen. We'll get Wilson back on screen because he had a dive out. There is. So all of our bets are live on screen so you can see them. Hey, comment below which ones you like best. Comment on which ones you might be placing a few shekels on yourself. And it's been an amazingly fun season. And throughout all of this, hey, things keep on growing. So we hit 6,350 subs out on YouTube. Boys, I'd love to see us get to 6,500 by the time we're hitting Sunday night and we're piling in several thousand new friends on a post-game show. Because that would, Adam, I don't know about you, but that would complete my hawker on what has been one of the most fun seasons in the history of our team, bud.
Hey, that'd be massive and amazing. No doubt about it. And look, I really appreciate the team for kicking ass and being good and about ready to win another Super Bowl. It's really helped our show, and that's been good for our deal. I just want to thank them personally for that. And it's exciting. You had all the bets up there on the screen there for a second, Clinton. And you know what I saw? I saw 12 winners right there.
Ooh, yeah. 12 for 12. Why not? So, Brandon, can we go 12 for 12? What do you think? Is it possible?
I don't think it's actually logistically possible for Shahid and JSN to both get the MVP, but
boo.
Co-MVPs.
Yep.
Co-MVPs.
Oh, there we go. I guess they'd have to. We have a lawyer. We have a soon-to-be lawyer. Co-MVPs. Would they honor that? Would the big fat cats in Vegas honor that? Wilson, what do you think?
Oh, I don't think the fat cats would like it. I could see the NFL doing it. You know, I don't know if you guys have seen the clip of a couple of years ago at the Olympics when they decided to share the gold medal. So I think if you can share the gold medal, you can definitely share Super Bowl MVP.
Well, there we have it. How about we share the collective we, the universal we, all the 12s, all the flockers. How about we share an amazing Sunday afternoon into evening? And boys, we just go get this W. We just complete the thing the way it needs to be completed. Just an ass kicking of a Patriots team that deserves an ass kicking. And then we get on with our flockers and we have the best post-game celebration that we've ever had. How's that sound?
Sounds great. I think the majority of the nation would appreciate that as well, because I don't think they are excited one bit for the scrappy underdog Patriots who's so likable to win another chip. Nobody wants that. Nobody cares. Go back to Massachusetts. Like, we're done with you.
And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks, boys.
Good catfish luck. You are going to get torched